If you are here to leave a legacy, then this episode is for you. And we're going to tap into your difference being your legacy. And I'm going to support you in sharing 3 secrets to really tap into what makes you different, because this is something that a lot of people struggle to identify. I'm going to give you 3 simple secrets with lots of fun questions you can ask yourself to help you identify that difference and help you step into, claim, and leave your amazing legacy. I'm so excited you're here. Let's get started. Hello. Welcome to another episode of The Written Compass. So excited you are here. Cannot believe we are heading into the end of another month. I'm recording this. And when this episode drops, we will be heading into the end of September of 2023 and heading into the beginning of October, which is just insane. Time is crazy wazy sometimes. And yeah, how are you? How are things going? How is your writing? In today's episode, I'm going to talk about something really important that is going to hopefully support you in what I like to always try to do, which is honoring you. And I talk a lot about legacy and how many of the people that I work with, they really feel like they are here to leave a legacy. They are here to honor the recognition that they have, that they are going to be somebody's ancestors one day, that they are here to make an impact. And they know that writing a book is a part of that, or books. A lot of my clients know that they have multiple books in them. And that is actually why we have our Legacy Authors program. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, nudge. If that is something you're interested in, definitely shoot me a message, send me a DM on Instagram at Shana Hartman _ or shoot me an email, shana@shanahartman.com, and we'll talk about it. But today I want to talk about how your difference is your legacy and how can you tap into and understand and write down what your difference is. So I've got 3 kind of secrets that I'm going to break down, nice and simple. None of this is rocket science, but it's just going to allow you to slow down and connect to yourself. And so I'm going to break down each of those secrets, and feel free to grab a pen and paper so you can kind of work with and through these as we go along. And I'm going to use questions to kind of prompt you to connect to each of these secrets. And I just used the big word for secret number 1, which is the biggest thing that allows you to honor your legacy, which is your difference, is we want to connect to it. We want to get really connected to what makes us uniquely ourselves. And when I ask people, what makes you you, or what makes you different, that's sometimes difficult to do. We often have a hard time kind of what might feel like bragging on ourselves. So I'm going to use a question that kind of shifts the perspective a little bit. And I want you to think about, who are you not for? Now, if you are a business owner, this might be, what kind of clients are you not for? Who are you not here to work with? For just general magical thought leaders, many of you are, who is not your vibe, right? And I don't mean a specific person. I mean, what type of qualities, what kind of things that, people may show up, or how they interact, or a beliefs system or something like that you're like, this is just not, I'm just not for those people. If you're coming from this perspective, or you're making these kinds of choices, love you, mean it, but I'm not for you, right? So taking a minute and kind of jotting down, who am I not for, right? And then one thing we talk about a lot about is audience in our writing. And another question in terms of connecting to your difference maker that I like to share with my authors as they're coming through our work together is kind of, what is the journey of the people that you want to connect with? So I don't mean just demographics, so that can be helpful, like age, location, gender, sometimes gender identities, supportive, but I want you to really think of their journey. Where are they on the trajectory of their, growth path, or doing their work, or whatever the case may be? For me, with clients, the journey that my clients are often on when I work with them is they are writing their first book, They have been pining and really just feeling the urge to write a book for a very long time often. And they are finally like, this has to come out of me. They are finally ready to really honor it, to really tap into who they are as a writer. And they often just aren't sure how to get started, or they maybe have been trying to do it for a couple of years on their own. And they realize finally that they need some support. So those are some of the elements of the journey that the people that I work with are on. So I didn't really name any demographics about those people. I just talked about where are they on their trajectory, on their journey. So writing that down can also help you connect to what makes you different. Another question that I love to ask for secret number one to help people connect to the it factor, their difference maker, is what are you no longer willing to tolerate? And this is a powerful question just for life in general, but I love asking it as I'm starting to work with people, like, what are you no longer willing to tolerate? And that will often illuminate what you are calling in, right? I am no longer willing to tolerate people who don't want to be supported, who aren't ready to be coached, who, for simplicity, don't want to write a book, right? Like, that's not going to be the person for me. I'm no longer willing to tolerate people who aren't willing to put in effort, right, to make their dreams happen. I'm no longer willing to tolerate someone who, has big money issues, whatever it may be. There's no right or wrong here, but that's going to help you with secret number one in really connecting to the thing that makes you different and unique. Secret number two is we really want to love on our difference maker, right? So I'm going to ask you a series of questions to maybe help you tap into this love element. So what do you love about your work? And even if you are in a transition period, we have a lot of clients who transition from one career into another as they are writing their book. They use the book kind of as a coming out, so to speak, a transition piece that helps support them in their next step. But I want you to really tap into what you're currently doing for work, whatever that word means to you. What do you love about it? And then a follow-up question is, what lights you up, either about that work or just in general, right? What do you love about what you're doing? What lights you up? And for me, for instance, one thing that showed up as I even asked that question to you all for this podcast is what lights me up is when I get to be in group or one-on-one interaction with someone and they're sharing where they're getting stuck or sharing some writing and they're asking me for feedback and support, and I can meet them right where they are and just give them another perspective, a slight shift, and they're off to the races. That just lights me up. Like, I feel like $1,000,000. And I love doing it live. I love doing it, virtually live in person. Like, that is a magical moment for me. And then another question around this love it element, this secret number two, is what keeps you, this is important, what helps you stay in that, what I call the authentic energy. So when we're tapping into what we love about what we do, what lights us up, we're really tapping into our authentic energy, our true selves. And so we really want to make note of what keeps us in that energy, because that's a difference maker. And this is something that can really support you in writing your book, actually being the content and elements of your book that you write about, or just keeping that fuel to your fire for writing the book going. So what do you love about your work? What do you love about what you do? What lights you up in that work or in general in life? And what helps keep you in that authentic energy of loving what you're doing and lighting you up? And then finally, secret number three is the you, right? Really understanding and breaking down the you-ness of your difference, like your legacy. So here's some questions that can support you in that. What are the key things you do when you are working with someone, whatever that gets to look like? And this can be like breaking down the step-by-step things you might do, right? So in practical terms, when I work with a client, right, like there's some onboarding that we do. I get them to set up their Google Drive. We have an initial session where we kind of break down the big vision, the big picture vision of where they're trying to go in their business or their life in general, and how the book is going to support that, right? Those are the practical pieces. But what I want you to think about too, you can write those down, but what are the key things you do when working with a client? What am I really doing by that? I'm membershiping, I'm building rapport, I'm getting to know that person, I'm getting to understand where they are and where they want to go, right? And I can do that in all kinds of different ways, no matter what my work is, no matter what my, how I show up in the world, right? So yes, think of the practical things that you actually do, and then also pull back a little bit and like, what are you doing there? What does that actually, what's the, so what the point of that? And then I love to break down, like, how do you know to do that? So for me, how do I know that I need to membership or that I want to build rapport with my clients? Well, we're going to be in a long-term relationship together. Most of my clients I'm working with at least a year or more. And so I know to do this because it allows me to build that foundation of trust and support for the long term. So how do you know to do that, right? This is also stuff that I learned as a writing teacher. This is stuff that I've experienced myself being coached around my writing and supported and taught around my writing. This is part of my dissertation work, right? Some of my research I did way back in the day. So how do you know those things? And the reason that's important is because the fact that you're coming from the perspective and the knowledge and experience that you are to know to do those things, that's going to be an element that makes you different. And that's part of your legacy. And then I love this too. And this can be a little homework assignment to wrap this up with secret number 3. The you part of all of this is, what do people say about how you do what you do? What do people say about you and your work and your impact and your influence when they experience you in these beautiful things that make you who you are, your difference? What do they say? Right? And if you don't know, go ask. This is a beautiful way to just get some affirmation. So maybe go ask 1, 2, 3 people that you interact with or have interacted with previously and see what they have to say. Hey, can you give me a line or two about the work we did together and what that was like for you? I'd love to hear about it and your perspective. So tap into the difference, the thing that makes you who you are, which is really how we really identify our legacy, is number 1, we want to connect to that difference, right? Who are you not for? What is the journey of the people that you work with? What are you no longer tolerating? What do you love about the things that you are doing? What lights you up and what keeps you in that lit up, authentic energy? And then what are the things that make you who you are? How do you know to do these things? And what do other people say about you? All of these things are really going to support you in remembering your why, and ultimately the thing that makes you different. And ultimately the thing that difference is your legacy. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm curious what resonated with you, what you're going to take and try moving forward. As always, I love to hear from you. So shoot me a message over on Instagram at Shana Hartman _. And I will see you on the Written Compass next time. Take care. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Written Compass. If you are enjoying this content, do me a favor and go and review the podcast. This allows me to share and get these messages out to the people who really need them, who we want to read their books in the future. You can also go and share your thoughts and tag me at Shana Hartman _ on Instagram. Again, this is just a way for us to get connected and share the writing love. And if you know that you are ready to write your book, that message that's been burning inside of you for a long time, then I want to talk to you. My team and I want to talk to you. Head on over to shanahartman.com and click Work with Us. From there, you'll see an application to explore and see if writing your book is your next best step.